Have you started noticing strange sensations in your feet or hands that were not there a few years ago? Maybe your toes tingle at night. Maybe your fingertips feel slightly numb when you wake up. Perhaps your feet burn under the blankets, or your legs feel weak and unsteady in a way that is difficult to explain. Some seniors say it feels like they are walking on cotton. Others say their feet feel disconnected from the floor, as if the signal between the body and the ground is not as clear as it used to be. And far too often, people are told the same vague thing. It's just aging. But what if that is not the full story? What if your nerves are not simply wearing out? What if they are under stress, undernourished, and asking for support? Hello, I'm Dr. Adrian Keller, and in today's video, we're talking about 3 vitamins that help protect nerves after 60. This is one of the most important topics in senior health, because healthy nerves affect so much more than people realize. Nerves are not just about pain or tingling. They help you feel the ground under your feet. They help you balance. They help you walk safely. They help your muscles respond properly. They help your hands grip, your legs move, and your body stay coordinated. When nerve health begins to decline, independence often begins to decline with it. Now, let me be very clear from the beginning. No vitamin is a miracle cure, and no supplement can instantly reverse every kind of nerve damage. That would be misleading. But there are nutrients that play a very important role in helping the body support healthy nerves, especially as we get older. And when those nutrients are too low, or when the body struggles to use them well, the nervous system often suffers. So before I tell you which 3 vitamins I want to focus on today, I want to help you understand something simple but powerful: what nerves actually need in order to stay healthy. Think of your nerves like electrical wires running through the walls of a house. Your brain is the control center. Your nerves carry messages to every room. Some of those messages tell your feet how to move. Some tell your muscles when to tighten or relax. Some bring sensation back to the brain so you can tell whether the floor is cold, whether something is sharp, or whether your balance is stable. But electrical wires do not work well if they are frayed, underpowered, or poorly insulated, and that is exactly what can happen in the body. Nerves need oxygen, they need blood flow, they need stable blood sugar, they need certain nutrients, and they need a protective covering, often described as insulation, to help the signal travel clearly and quickly. When that support is missing, the signal weakens. That is when tingling, numbness, burning, loss of balance, weak legs, strange foot sensations, or even hand clumsiness can begin. Now here is why this becomes so much more important after 60. As we age, several things change at once. Circulation often becomes less efficient. Muscles are used less often. Blood sugar becomes more vulnerable to spikes and instability. Digestion may become less efficient. Stomach acid may decline. Certain medications can interfere with nutrient absorption. Appetite may become smaller. Food variety may decline. And the body's ability to repair damaged tissues often slows down. This means older nerves are more vulnerable, and older bodies sometimes deliver less support to those nerves than they used to. That is why the same deficiency or metabolic problem that might have caused only mild symptoms at 40 can create much more noticeable nerve symptoms at 70. So let us go straight into the 3 vitamins I want you to understand. Vitamin number 1, vitamin B12. If there is one vitamin that stands at the center of nerve protection after 60, it is vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 matters for several reasons. It helps support the health of red blood cells, which carry oxygen. It helps support the nervous system. And perhaps most importantly in this conversation, It helps support the protective covering around nerves, the insulation that helps signals travel cleanly. Go back to the house wiring image for a moment. Imagine the electrical wire in the wall. If the plastic coating around the wire starts to crack or wear thin, the signal becomes less stable. It may flicker, it may weaken, it may become distorted. In the body, low B12 can contribute to something very similar. The nerve becomes less protected. The signal becomes less reliable. This is one reason low B12 can show up as numb feet, tingling hands, burning sensations, weak legs, poor balance, or a sense that the feet do not feel the floor as clearly as they once did. And B12 becomes especially important after 60 because deficiency becomes more common with age. Why? Not always because the person is eating badly. Sometimes they are eating well enough. The real problem is absorption. The body needs stomach acid and something called intrinsic factor to absorb B12 properly from food. But as people get older, stomach acid often declines. Intrinsic factor may become less effective. Some people take acid-lowering medications for years. Others take metformin for blood sugar, which can also affect B12 levels over time. So even if the diet is not terrible, the body may still not be getting enough usable B12. That is why B12 is one of the first nutrients I think about when a senior says, "My feet are tingling. My legs feel weak. My balance is worse. My hands feel numb. I feel tired and foggy." Because B12 deficiency does not only affect energy, it can affect nerves in a very real and meaningful way. Now, I want to say something important here. Taking B12 does not automatically mean your nerves will suddenly recover. The body is more complex than that. But if B12 is low or poorly absorbed, supporting it properly can be one of the most meaningful steps you take for nerve health. Vitamin number 2, vitamin D. Many people think of vitamin D only in relation to bones. And yes, bones matter. But vitamin D also plays a major role in muscle function, immune balance, and overall tissue health, all of which matter for nerves and mobility. Now, vitamin D is not always the first thing people associate with tingling or burning feet. But think about the bigger picture. If vitamin D is low, muscles often become weaker. Balance often becomes less reliable. The body becomes less resilient. Pain sensitivity may increase. Inflammation can become more difficult to regulate, and all of that creates a much harder environment for the nerves. Remember, nerves do not live in isolation. They live inside a whole body. A weak, inflamed, poorly supported body is much less friendly to healthy nerve function. This is one reason vitamin D deserves more respect in older adults. Low vitamin D is also extremely common after 60. People spend less time outdoors. Skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. Dietary intake is often low, and because the symptom pattern can be vague, fatigue, weakness, low mood, muscle discomfort, poor balance, many people do not suspect it. They simply say, "I feel older," when what may really be happening is that the body is running with less support than it needs. Vitamin D alone does not fix neuropathy, but it does help support the wider environment that nerves depend on. Stronger muscles, better balance, better function, better resilience, lower inflammatory strain in some people. All of that matters. And this is why I often remind seniors, protecting nerves is not just about nerves. It is about the whole system around the nerves. Vitamin number 3, vitamin B1. The third vitamin I want to focus on is vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. This one is not talked about enough, especially in senior health. But it matters because B1 helps the body use glucose for energy, and nerve tissue depends heavily on steady energy production. When B1 support is poor, the nervous system can suffer. Think of B1 like a key that helps the body turn fuel into usable energy. If the key is missing or weak, the fuel is there, but the engine does not use it as efficiently. Nerves are particularly sensitive to this because they are metabolically active tissue. They need energy constantly. This is one reason low B1 can contribute to nerve discomfort, weakness, or strange sensory changes in some people. It can also matter more in people with blood sugar problems because glucose handling and nerve stress often overlap. Now let me be balanced here. I am not saying every person with tingling feet has low B1, but I am saying B1 deserves more attention than it usually gets, especially when blood sugar instability, poor appetite, processed food diets, or certain medication patterns are part of the picture. And once again, age matters here. Older adults are often eating less. Digestion is often weaker. Food variety may shrink. Processed convenience foods may replace balanced meals. That is not a criticism, it is simply reality. And over time, lower nutrient quality creates a body that has fewer tools to protect its nerves. So those are the 3 vitamins I want you to remember: B12, D, and B1. Now let us talk about why deficiencies become more common after 60, because this is where so many people get confused. The first reason is lower absorption. As I mentioned earlier, the stomach and digestive system change with age. This is especially important for B12. The second reason is medication use. Acid-lowering drugs, metformin, and other medications may affect nutrient handling in ways seniors do not realize. The third reason is reduced appetite. Many older adults simply eat less than they used to. That means fewer calories, yes, but also fewer nutrients. The fourth reason is less dietary variety. People fall into routines: toast, tea, soup, crackers, a small dinner, snacks instead of meals. It becomes easy for nutritional quality to quietly slip. The fifth reason is chronic illness and inflammation. A body under chronic stress often uses nutrients differently and may have a harder time maintaining ideal levels. And the sixth reason is that symptoms are often dismissed for too long. People feel numbness, tingling, or weak legs for months or years before anyone checks what the nerves may actually need. Now let us talk about the symptoms that may suggest your nerves need more support, because the body usually gives clues before the problem becomes severe. One common symptom is tingling in the feet, especially at night. It may feel like tiny electric sparks, buzzing, or pins and needles. Another common symptom is numbness. Some seniors say it feels like they are wearing invisible socks, or like part of the foot is asleep. Burning sensations are another big clue. If the feet feel hot under blankets, irritated, or unusually sensitive at night, the nerves may be under stress. Weak legs can also be part of the picture. People do not always realize that nerve issues can create weakness, not just weird sensation. If the nerve signals are not clean, the muscles do not respond as well. Balance changes matter too. If you feel less steady, especially in dim light or on uneven ground, nerves may be part of the reason. The feet are full of sensory information. They tell your brain where the ground is. If those messages get weaker, balance often follows. Hand symptoms can happen too. Tingling in the fingers, clumsiness, trouble gripping, or numbness in the hands may also suggest the nervous system needs more attention. Now, here is something very important. The earlier you notice these signs, the more useful they become. Why? Because early symptoms are often warnings, not verdicts. A body that is beginning to struggle is giving you information. That is your chance to respond. And what makes nerve symptoms worse? This is a very important question, because even the best vitamins cannot protect nerves well if the rest of the environment keeps damaging them. The first thing that worsens nerve problems is unstable blood sugar. This is one of the biggest drivers of nerve stress after 60. Repeated sugar spikes irritate small blood vessels and nerves over time. That means better blood sugar control is one of the best forms of nerve protection, whether a person has diabetes, prediabetes, or simply unstable glucose patterns. The second thing is dehydration. Poor hydration makes circulation less efficient, and nerves do not thrive in a body with poor blood flow. If the blood is more concentrated and delivery is weaker, the feet and hands often suffer first. The third is inactivity. Sitting for long periods reduces circulation, weakens muscles, and lowers the body's natural pumping support. Movement is not only exercise, it is nourishment for the nerves. The fourth is ignoring symptoms. This may sound obvious, but it matters. Many seniors wait too long because they assume tingling, weak legs, or burning feet are just aging. By the time they seek help, the symptoms are more established. Now let us talk about what else helps protect nerves besides vitamins. Hydration is one. Walking is one. Stable meals are one. Better blood sugar control is one. Adequate protein is one. Footwear that does not compress the feet is one. And targeted medical evaluation is one. This is why I want you to think of vitamins not as magic, but as support. Vitamins help build the environment, but the full environment still matters. A body that is well hydrated, walking daily, eating balanced meals, supporting circulation, and managing blood sugar will usually protect its nerves far better than a body that takes a supplement but ignores everything else. Now, I also want to say something about testing and self-diagnosis. Do not guess too much. If you are dealing with ongoing tingling, numbness, burning, or weak legs, it is reasonable to talk to your doctor and ask whether nutrient levels, blood sugar, and circulation should be reviewed. It is smarter to know than to guess. Too many people spend money on random supplements without knowing whether they need them. That is not strategy. That is hope without direction. And hope is good, but hope works much better when it is paired with clarity. Now let us talk about the emotional side of nerve symptoms, because these symptoms can be very unsettling. Tingling is strange. Numbness is frightening. Burning at night steals sleep. Weak legs steal confidence. Poor balance creates fear. Many seniors begin changing their life because of these symptoms before they even fully understand them. They walk less. They avoid stairs. They stop going out after dark. They become more cautious around showers, curbs, and unfamiliar floors. That is completely understandable. But that is exactly why protecting nerves matters so much. It is not just about comfort. It is about preserving trust in your own body. When you trust your feet, you move more freely. When you trust your legs, you stay more active. When you trust your balance, your world stays larger. That is why nerve health belongs in every serious conversation about aging well. Before we finish, I want to bring everything together in a practical way. If you want to support your nerves after 60, begin with these questions. Am I getting enough B12, and can I absorb it well? Is my vitamin D status likely low? Could B1 and overall nutrient quality be part of the picture? How stable is my blood sugar? Am I walking enough to support circulation? Am I drinking enough water? Have I ignored early symptoms for too long? Do I need targeted testing instead of random guessing? Those questions alone can completely change the direction of your health. Because again, the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to support the body intelligently, to listen early, to respond wisely, and to protect your independence while you still have the power to do it. Before we finish today, I would love to hear from you. Tell me your age and where you're watching from, and tell me this. Which symptom sounds most familiar to you right now? Tingling feet, numb hands, burning at night, weak legs, or poor balance? I read your comments, and they help me understand what this community is living through every day. And let me leave you with this. Your nerves are not silent wires. They are living tissue. They respond to the environment you give them. They respond to blood flow, blood sugar, movement, hydration, and nutrients. And after 60, they need your support more than ever. So do not ignore what your body is trying to tell you. Protect those nerves. Protect your balance. Protect your mobility. Protect your independence. I'm Dr. Adrian Keller, and it has been a pleasure spending this time with you today. Keep taking small, consistent steps to support your body. Often, that is where the biggest long-term changes begin. I look forward to our next conversation. Until then, take good care of yourself and keep those nerves as supported as you can.